Yeah, what? Come stop. Hey, master. You know this yourself. Hold on. Now you will be back. Come stop. Yeah, come stop. Yeah, what? Come stop. Hey, master. You know this yourself. Hold on. Now you will be back. Hey, what? You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Who you know? Someone sitting there. Someone sitting there. Who watching Sika? Who said it for something? Oh, I'm a visitor. I'm a visitor. I'm someone here. Okay. I'm a visitor. Yes, no. I mean, who said yes, but what is that? What is that? I'm someone here. That's very old guy. Hold on, this one is that. Hold on, this one is that. What is that? Someone here. What is that? Someone here. I said, put himself with the young. What is that? Someone here. Oh, I tell the bullet into crew. Who brought me in here? What the town is? What does the land of the you know, you're one airport. Foolish for like you. Women know you're one airport. Sarah, I don't remember example. Confirmation center, I want to go, but what is the one? Who drive on the child? What will punish you? Also, bullet into crew of the good. I am not scared of one passer. But I'm a criminal. What would you want to find? One man can find. Or some penny. Stand out here. You bring it. How will you? Don't go there. Don't go there. Oh, I have a young man. You like to pass out. Oh, there. Put the name of one time. You what I come for. You what I come for. You are not a person, so you're so fun. Who could never make the sound? I can't just what to say. You know what I come for. How much do you come out with me and Papa? I see comfort. So, if you are seeing it, so I said so. Who would you make us here? Over here, salary come out to Singapore. Who is going to come to Singapore? And you will call it. Over to Singapore. Now, this can be 1,000 cities. Who will cheer? Also, the come to Singapore in the year from 47. Who will tell about the time? I'll be now coming to Master. Come stop. Yeah, come stop. Yeah, what? Come stop. Hey, Master. You know this yourself. Hold on. Now you will be back. Hey, what? You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Who you know? Someone sitting there. Someone sitting there. Who watching Sika? Who said it for something? Oh, I'm a visitor. I'm a visitor. I'm someone here. Okay. I'm a visitor. Yes, no. I mean, who said yes, but what is that? What is that? I'm someone here. That's very old guy. Hold on, this one is that. Hold on, this one is that. What is that? Someone here. What is that? Someone here. I said, put himself with the young. What is that? Someone here. Oh, I tell the bullet into crew. Who brought me in here? What the town is? What does the land of the you know, you're one airport. Foolish for like you. Women know you're one airport. Sarah, I don't remember example. Confirmation center, I want to go, but what is the one? Who drive on the child? What will punish you? Also, bullet into crew of the good. I am not scared of one passer. But I'm a criminal. What would you want to find? One man can find. Or some penny. Stand out here. You bring it. How will you? Don't go there. Don't go there. Oh, I have a young man. You like to pass out. Oh, there. Put the name of one time. You know what I come for. You what I come for. You are not a person, so you're so fun. Who could never make the sound? I can't just what to say. You know what I come for. How much do you come out with me and Papa? I see comfort. So, if you are seeing it, so I said so. Who would you make us here? Over here, salary come out to Singapore. Who is going to come to Singapore? And you will call it. Over to Singapore.
Man, this can be 1,000 cities. Also, the Congo for any year from 47. Who tell about the time? Of it now coming the master. From Star. Yeah, from Star. Yeah, what? From Star. Hey, Master. You do this yourself. Hold on. Now you're winning the ball. Hey, what me? You don't know. You don't know. You don't say. You don't know. Who you know? Someone say it. Someone say it. Oh, what is it? Who said it?
Oh, I'm going to Cabin.
Hello.
I'm going to Cabin.
I'm just having
someone here.
Okay.
I'm going to yes, can I mean, who say yes, can but what is that? What is that? I have someone here. That way, okay. We don't know. Oh, there's someone here. Oh, there's someone here. Who's that? Someone here. Who's that? Someone here. I have put himself with the young. Who's that? Someone here.
Oh, I can't have one to prove. Who brought them here? What the town is? What was the number? You know, you're one airport. Foolish for like you. Women know you're one airport. Sarah, I don't remember. Confirmation center, I want to prove what is the one partner. Good drive on the chat. Oh, punch you. Also, Bolani to prove of the good. I am not standing up for my pastor. And a criminal, what was our fine? One man can find. That's some pennies. Stand out here. You will bring it. How will you? Oh, don't go there. Don't go there. Oh, I have a young impressor. You like to impress out. Oh, there. Put the name of the time. You one I come for. You what I come for. You are not a person, so you're so fun. Who could get ready to sound here? I can't just want to say. You know what I come for. Thousands of come up saying, I'm not I'm for so. If I see it so, I said so. Who would do it? Over here, Sarah, come out to Shampoo. Who is Sarah coming to Shampoo? And you will call it over 2 cents. Man, this can be 1,000 cities. Also, the Congo for any year from 47. Who tell about the time? Of it now coming the master. From Star. Yeah, from Star. Yeah, what? From Star. Hey, Master. You do this yourself. Hold on. Now you're winning the ball. Hey, what me? You don't know. You don't know. You don't say. You don't know. Who you know? Someone say it. Someone say it. Oh, what is it? Who said it? Oh, I'm going to Cabin. Hello. I'm going to Cabin. I'm just having someone here. Okay. I'm going to yes, can I mean, who say yes, can but what is that? What is that? I have someone here. That way, okay. We don't know. Oh, there's someone here. Oh, there's someone here. Who's that? Someone here. Who's that? Someone here. I have put himself with the young. Who's that? Someone here. Oh, I can't have one to prove. Who brought them here? What the town is? What was the number? You know, you're one airport. Foolish for like you. Women know you're one airport. Sarah, I don't remember. Confirmation center, I want to prove what is the one partner. Good drive on the chat. Oh, punch you. Also, Bolani to prove of the good. I am not standing up for my pastor. And a criminal, who was our fine? One man can find. That's some pennies. Stand out here. You will bring it. How will you? Oh, don't go there. Don't go there. Oh, I have a young impressor. You like to impress out. Oh, there. Put the name of the time. You what I come for. You what I come for. You are not a person, so you're so fun. Who could get ready to sound here? I can't just want to say. You know what I come for. Thousands of come up saying, I'm not I'm for so. If I see it so, I said so. Who would do it?
over this, I don't come out to Shampo. Who is going to come to Shampo? And you will promise over 2 cents. Man, this can be 1,000 cities. Also, the come to Shampo in the year from 47. Who will tell about the time? Of it now coming to Master. From Stamp. Yeah, from Stamp. Yeah, what? From Stamp. Hey, Master. Hold on. Now you're in the back. Hey, what now? You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Someone's in there. Someone's in there. Oh, what is it? Who said it for something?
Oh, I'm going to come.
Hello?
I'm going to come.
To Sarah.
Let's have someone here.
Okay.
I'm going to
Yes, Cano.
Oh, no, no,
Who said
Mr.
Yes, Cano. But Tennessee.
But
Who the Wissy for?
La fête est brave. What is that? What is that? I'm having some zero.
That way, okay.
Mais de la way.
Hold on, this one, Mister.
Hold
on, this one, Mister.
What is that? Having some zero. What is that? Having some zero. I said, put himself with the wizard. What is that? Having some zero.
Oh, I tell the body into crew. Who brought them in here? What the town is? What does that come up? You know, you're one airport. Foolish for like you. Women know you're one airport. Sarah, I don't come up with Singapore. For information center, I want to prove what is the one part. You drive on the chat. Oh, punch you. Also, Bolani to prove of the group. I don't know, stand up, no funny pass on that. But I'm a minute. What do you want to find? What do you want to find? Or some pennies. Stand out here. You bring it. Have you? That guy. Oh, don't go there. Don't go there. Oh, I have a young man. I'm like to pass out. Oh, there. Put the name of the time. Minimum year one air for. Minimum year one air for. You are going to test us on the phone. Who could never make the sound? I can't just what to say. Minimum year one air for. How much do you come out to me and back out? Asia, no so. Who's passing yet so? Who has yet so? Who would you remember passing? Over this, I don't come out to Shampo. Who is going to come to Shampo? And you will promise over 2 cents. Man, this can be 1,000 cities. Also, the come to Shampo in the year from 47. Who will tell about the time? Nominee, avec now coming to Master. From Stamp. Yeah, from Stamp. Yeah, what? From Stamp. Hey, Master. Hold on. Now you're in the back. Hey, what now? You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Who you know? Someone's in there. Someone's in there. Oh, what is it? Who said it for something?
Oh, I'm going to come.
Hello?
I'm going to come.
To Sarah.
Let's have someone here.
Okay.
I'm going to
Yes, Cano.
Oh, no, no,
Who said
Yes,
Cano. But Tennessee.
But
Who the Wissy for?
La fête est brave. What is that? What is that? I'm having some zero.
That way, okay.
Mais de la way.
Hold on, this one, Mister.
Hold
on, this one, Mister.
What is that? Having some zero. What is that? Having some zero. I said, put himself with the wizard. What is that? Having some zero.
Oh, I tell the body into crew. Who brought them in here? What the town is? What does that come up? You know, you're one airport. Foolish for like you. Women know you're one airport. Sarah, I don't come up with Singapore. For information center, I want to prove what is the one part. From Stamp. Yeah, from Stamp. Yeah, what? From Stamp. Hey, Master. Hold on. Now we only about you don't know. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. You know. Someone's in there. Someone's in there. Oh, what is it? Who said it for something?
Oh, I'm a bit of
Come.
I'm a bit of problem.
I'm just saying.
Someone here.
Okay.
I'm a bit of
Yes, can you?
Oh, no, I mean,
Yes, can you? But put the whiskey for.
what is that? What is that? I have some here.
That way, hold on.
The other way.
Hold on, this one, sir.
Hold
Hold on, this one,
Who's got him some here? Who's got him some here? I have put himself with the wizard. Who's got him some here?
Go, I tell the body into prove. Who brought them here? What the town is? One person over the you know, you're one airport. Foolish for like you. Women know you're one airport. Sarah, I got from example. For information center, I want to prove what is our one partner. Who drive on the chat. What will punish you? Also, Bolani to prove if you could be by your most kind of pass. And a criminal, what wouldn't you have fine? Wouldn't want to have fine? Or some pennies. Stand out here. You will bring it. Don't go there. Don't go there. Oh, I have a young man. Like we pass out. Oh, there. Put the name of the time. Minimum year one airport for. Minimum year one airport for. You are on the test as only so far. Who could never do so? I can't just want to say. Minimum year one airport for. How much do you come up with a million about Asia, report so. If you see it so, who Asia so, who would remember Asia? Over this, I don't come out to Singapore. Who is going to come to Singapore? And you promise, over 2 years, man, this can be 1,000 cities. Also, the come to Singapore in the year from 47. Who job on the chat? A bit now coming to master. From Star. Yeah, from Star. Yeah, what? From Star.
Asking for a refund of monies he gave assembly members just for him to get the nod. Unfortunately, he hasn't gotten the nod. Now, yesterday, there was some serious drama, and we'll be joined shortly by Nanaya Ojima, who was himself on the ground, to tell us what really transpired, and we'll take it from there. But like I said, join us on Facebook, because on Facebook, whilst you watch us, you get to see a lot of visuals, even at the point in time where assembly members last week were even made to kneel down. All of that, you know, we have, we'll be sharing that with you on Facebook. Meanwhile, if you've spent countless hours praying for showers of blessings, your miracle could be right around the corner. Airtel Tigo is making it shower huge cash prizes, data and call minutes in the Airtel Tigo Miso promo. From now till December, people all over Ghana will be winning awesome prizes every hour, every day, every week, and every month, with a grand cash prize of 100,000 Ghana cedis. All you have to do is to simply dial *500#, recharge 5 Ghana cedis or more, and build up points from Airtel Tigo's money or ATM transactions, which gives double points. Recharges, bundle purchases, SMS trivia, and general usage. You can also purchase points on *500# via Airtel Tigo Money / the ATM to boost your points. You can get even more points from the daily SMS trivia for 30 Ghana pesos or more.
Hey, this is serious. So they are not allowing the regional minister to go. Wow. Hey, this is serious. So they are not allowing the regional minister to go. Wow.
Take this money. Everybody wants a piece of you, which of course is very, very normal.
I have to serve you first.
Yeah. No, but you've already served somebody first. But very interesting happenings regarding the endorsement of the nominee for Juaben Municipal Assembly, and I'm talking about Alex Osei. Safo Kantanka. Now, run us through what has happened from the very beginning when his name came up as the nominee and the endorsement, moves that has taken place. Run us through what has happened.
So this is the second time that yesterday is supposed to be the second time that Mr. Alex Safo Kantanka has been voted upon. And in the first instance, we had 6 of the assembly members out of the 26 assembly members voted in his favor. They voted yes to say that he should be should become the municipal chief executive for Juaben, and the rest of the assembly members voted against his nomination. So due to the laws that guide such an election, his name had to be withdrawn by the president, and president had to renominate another person nominate another person to come and be voted upon and find out if that person will be granted the permission by the assembly members to become the municipal chief executive. Fortunately for Mr. Safo Kantanka, the laws allows the president to renominate the initial nominee. So the president did so, and Mr. Safo Kantanka had to go forward for a second election. It was scheduled for a day, and unfortunately, according to the assembly members, and the nominee could not show up, so it had to be rescheduled for another time. So that time was supposed to be last Friday, and we went there. And when we got there, we realized that some of the assembly members were agitated. We went before time. It was scheduled for 2 p.m. We went ahead of time. Around 1 p.m., the media was there, or multimedia were there to cover the proceedings. And Mr. Safo Kantanka was also there. Assembly members were there. The assembly members called the media into a press conference, and they told us that they think they cannot have the election today. We inquired, why do you think why aren't you willing to go ahead and vote upon the nominee? And according to the assembly members, the presence of military and the police is intimidating, and they showed us pictures of military armored vehicles.
All right, so at this point in time, Nana, at this point in time, Joel and the team, please show us the military armored vehicles that was present last Friday. That made the, not this one, the military armored vehicles. Let's show that one.
There are pictures.
There are pictures, yes. Where, it made or compelled the assembly members to come out and say that they were not comfortable with it. They felt intimidated. Nana, please continue.
So, due to the presence of these heavy armored vehicles, the assembly members believe it's intimidating enough, so they wanted to withdraw from the election. So coupled with the police presence, which was also as heavy as well, so within the press conference, the Juaben Hene Dasibro Serbo drove to the conference grounds, which was the Dubuahen Park within Juaben, and he came there and asked them why they've decided to go on with the press conference when he has been the person mediating on these issues. The assembly members, since they were in the middle of the press conference, decided to finish it and go see him, because they've pleaded with him to go back to his palace, and that they will come there to him and explain things to him.
So a few points to note before we continue, Nanaya. So how come we had, and for our viewers on Facebook right now, you can see the presence of the armored vehicles we're talking about. It is there right now. That's what compelled the assembly members to hold the press conference and say that they felt intimidated and could not go ahead with the process. This is supposed to be a normal democratic process, and yet we have military presence there. Why military? Yes, you mentioned that there was police presence as well, but why do we have the presence of the military? Is that to suggest that the police could not do the job?
That issue remains unexplained.
Okay.
Yesterday.
So who invited them, by the way?
Okay. Yesterday, Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah, before the election, had to address the assembly members, and within the address, he stated that he wasn't aware of the deployment of the military. At that time, he was in a meeting with the president and other officials somewhere in Accra. And after that meeting he had with the president, the Minister of Interior came to him, asking him why the military are on the ground. And he said he was surprised that the minister is asking me that question, because he's not aware that military are at Juaben. So he also made some calls, and the response he had from the military, he wasn't satisfied with it.
What was the response? Can you share?
According to the Ashanti Regional Minister, they told him that the military were on their way to training. to train. Yeah, so they went through the area
and had to pack. And got out of the vehicle.
That is why the Ashanti Regional Minister is saying that he wasn't satisfied
with the answer.
So now an investigation has to be conducted into these issues. And that after the investigations, that is when they will be able to establish who exactly sent them there and what was their mission on the ground.
Let's now take it away from the Juaben Municipal, who himself, like you said, went to the grounds where the press conference was being held. He ascertained from them why, because he was dealing with them, and they said, well, they wanted to hold the press conference, after which they were going to come see him. Run us through events, after that. Is that what necessitated the kneeling? Which of course we've seen that the assembly members also kneeling before the chief. And Joel and Co, can we have the kneeling picture as well, please?
So according to the assembly members, when they went into the meeting, the Juaben Municipal felt disrespected because if he has been the one, the intermediary between them and the nominee, if there are any issues, they should rather come to him, not resort to the press. So they all went out and decided to come and plead for forgiveness, and they were doing it, and they wanted to do that through the Jasehine of the area, and the Jasehine told them that it's proper for them to go on their knees and plead for forgiveness.
So
that is what the assembly members are telling me.
So that's the picture we have for you right now. If you haven't seen it, well, it's on our Facebook page presently. On LUV 99.5. Assembly members kneeling down.
Yes, the original chairman of the CPP in the Ashanti region, Emmanuel Gallo, is in there. He's the one in the African print. Blue, yellow, and brown.
The multicolored African print.
Yes.
So again, on Facebook right now, you can see assembly members at Juaben having knelt down before the chief there. And it has to do with the fact that the chief was not satisfied. He says, well, he was mediating on the matter. And so why would the assembly members hold a press conference whilst he was still mediating? And so when they went to him, he said it was a sign of disrespect. And that's how come the Jasehine said to the assembly members that if you really want to prove that you are sorry, go down on your knees. Now, I'm emphasizing on this because we've had a release from the traditional area that says that they were not compelled. That's assembly members were not forced to kneel, but they did so on their own volition. Is that what it is?
Yes. Yes.
So let's fast forward, because we're running out of time. Let's fast forward to what happened yesterday. How come the regional minister, how come, Honorable Angere, and Co had to be whisked away? What really happened yesterday?
All right, so even before the election itself, the atmosphere at the venue was so charged. Very, very charged. There were a number of people who we believe are supporters of the nominee, Mr. Safo Kantanka, who came to the grounds to witness the election or to support their candidate, and they were in red armbands.
So we have a video of that as well, and for those of you who are watching us on Facebook, please follow us so that you get to understand and appreciate the story as has unfolded from the very onset. So social media team, please, let's have that. Yes, that's it. And I can see heavy security presence as well.
Exactly, and the police must be commended for their high professionalism they exhibited yesterday. So these people came, and at a point they were chanting war songs, and the media thought it was interesting for a nominee to have such a number or behind him and still be losing in the room. So the media attempted to take pictures and videos of the people. Unfortunately, the people were so charged, and at a point they wanted to beat the media.
Wanted to beat the media.
Exactly.
In all this, where was the nominee? What was he doing?
Okay, he was pacing up and down. At a point, you see him within the crowd. He goes, he comes back.
Was he not calming the people to tell them that, well...
I didn't see any instance where he was calming them, but at a point, I rather saw him pointing to one of the media people, telling them that he's one of the people causing us problems.
Pointing to a media person?
Exactly.
And telling his supporters, or telling the media person himself?
Telling his supporters that this is one of the people causing them problems.
Wow.
And the police should arrest the man. And later, I saw some of the supporters of Mr. Kantanka rushing onto the media person.
Okay.
So it took the police once again to pick this man and take him to safety for some time. So within that period, the atmosphere was so charged, but fortunately for some of us, we were privileged enough to get access to the assembly hall. Due to the limited space within the hall, they allowed just 5 media persons to the room, which myself and our cameraman
were part of these media people who were granted access to the room to get to witness the proceedings.
So tell me about the regional minister. I'm very much interested in the fact that a whole regional minister had to be whisked away under police protection.
Yes. After the election, it was after the election.
Okay.
When they had gotten the information that their nominee or the one they support have lost the election, and he could only garner 10 of the 26 votes that were supposed.
But he is appreciated because the first time he got was 6, and the second time that was yesterday he got 10.
No, they were expecting the assembly members to endorse him this time, and at a point, the letter came from the regional coordinating council seeking to withdraw 4 of the government appointees.
Okay.
From the assembly and swear in 4 new persons.
Wow.
Yes. And that was done.
Okay.
That was done. So if, after all these things and you still have he being able just to make 10 votes, it should tell you that there are a lot of, issues. And mind you, all the government appointees are 8.
Yeah.
So it means that he could manage to get just 2 elected assembly members to vote for him. And these are some of the reasons the people thought the assembly members deserve some punishment for refusing to vote their candidate. So even before the election itself, the regional minister had to plead with the people or the assembly members to vote him or to endorse him, because he thought that fine, there are issues. The nominee probably has stepped on a number of toes within the assembly members, but he think that for the interest of Juaben, all these assembly members should try and endorse the candidate. But even though the assembly members were very sober, and you could see them listening to the regional minister attentively and nodding to whatever the regional minister was saying, they within them, they know where they were voting for. So that is how the things panned out there. Even though Mr. Safo Kantanka also pleaded with them to forgive him for all that he has done against them.
So what exactly has he done against them? Why do you think it's become so difficult or challenging for him to get the endorsement of the assembly members?
So I've been able to pick some of the grievances of the assembly members.
Okay.
And according to some of them, Mr. Safo Kantanka is not, I don't know how to put it, but they believe that he's not somebody they can trust.
Trust issues.
Yes. At a point, he sponsored some candidates to unseat some of the assembly members during the assembly elections, and he had done a lot of things against them. Some of them they couldn't put forward to me, but some of the assembly members I spoke to tell me that he's not somebody they can trust. So they think that he cannot help Juaben, and therefore they shouldn't vote to confirm him as the municipal chief executive.
So at what point in time, or what made the nominee decide to burst out and demand for refund of his monies? By the way, how much are we told he paid, allegedly?
So we are learning that Mr. Kantanka was able to give 5,000 cedis to each of the assembly members.
5,000 Ghana cedis.
That is the information we picked on the grounds. 26 assembly members.
So if indeed it is true, and he's able to give 5,000 to 26 assembly members, and he should get that nod, he's not a Father Christmas. He will definitely find ways and means of recouping the money back. And these are some of the concerns as a people we should have. So he's given 5,000 allegedly to assembly members. What pushed him? The fact that he didn't get the endorsement, is that what pushed him to come and say, well...
I think that is it. But because at a point, one of the assembly members, when we were, some of us who were privileged enough to get to the conference room, we couldn't come out because people had threatened to beat the assembly members and the media.
The media, yeah. So you were in there.
So we were in there. And one of the assembly members came upstairs claiming that he has been hit by the nominee. And he was making noise everywhere. The assembly members pleaded with him to calm down, let them finish what they are doing, and they all marched to the police station to report the incident to the police. He was so furious, and he spoke to the media, and he told us that when he was descending, the man met him and told him to give him back his money, and he hit him for that. And I asked him whether it's true he has taken money from him, and he said yes. When they voted first.
The first election.
In the first election,
how much did he take?
Took some money. He couldn't disclose the amount.
But he took some money from.
He took some money from him, and he did the job that he expected him to do. So he's done with him. But in the second election, he hasn't been to him to take any money. So he doesn't know why the man should hate him.
So the first time he did what he had to do. Let me put it that way.
Exactly.
By voting, let's say voting for the nominee.
Exactly.
The second time.
Also, so
the second time, no money came. So what? He didn't vote for the man. What is he?
He is saying that in the second election, he didn't go to him for money, or he didn't approach him. Either ways. So there hasn't been any exchange of money.
Let's show you that video again where the nominee, was ranting and demanding for his money. It's on Facebook. There we go. Here we go.
So within that, after that incident, about 35 minutes afterwards, he came back in the room where a few of the assembly members were seated, and walked straight to one of the assembly members and demanded his money. And he continued, as we see in the video, going up and down, claiming that the assembly members have taken money from him, and therefore, if they've refused to do what he expected them to do, they should refund the money. So that was when he walked to one assembly member and told him, "You came to me one time claiming that one of the people within your electoral area is having mental issues, and you needed money to take him to the hospital or to seek medical care. And according to the family of this individual, you never gave them the money. So if he's not taking any money at all, for that 1,000 cedis, he needs it from that man. He should refund it." So this went on for some time, and some policemen had to intervene to prevent the nominee from hitting anybody or from doing anything untoward to any of the assembly members within the room. So this continued for some time, and at a point, you see a lot of his supporters there angry. At a point, some of them were trying to hit other persons. The police had to intervene. It's happened a number of occasions, separate incidents, a lot of noise, a lot of agitation, and some of the people within the supporters of the nominee were unhappy with their people, because even though they needed the man endorsed, they think that it should be done peacefully, but not what the people did yesterday.
And again, so the regional minister, was whisked away unskilled, plus Honorable Anhwere.
After he descended, the information that I have and videos I've seen is that the regional minister, the police had to form a wall around the regional minister and some of the people, because when he was moving with his security men, a lot of the people rushed onto him. So at a point, the numbers were increasing. They had to aid him and walk him briskly.
But this is a minister who was speaking on behalf of the nominee.
Exactly. So
pleading with members of the assembly to vote or endorse him.
So some of us were surprised, and at a point they were all waiting for him to come. They wanted the process. Even the people who I think were for the nominee in the room, in the conference room, tried to halt the process. Wait for Simon Osemensa to come before the process starts.
Listen, you can join us on 03-220-835-96. What do you make of all that you have heard so far? What's going on in your mind? But Nana, we know the latest on the nominee. He was arrested by the police and has been granted bail as well. Tell us a bit about that.
So it was late last night that we had the information that he was arrested for allegedly paying bribes to some of these assembly members, and after some police initial investigation, the police had to release him on bail. But after that, we do not have any information, but that's what the police so far has communicated this morning. So in the course of the day, probably there will be further communication from the police.
And indeed, we know that corruption is illegal in Ghana. It's an offense in Ghana. And, so once he's been picked up, many are saying that, well, we need to have the Office of the Special Prosecutor to look into this matter.
But are the assembly members willing to tell us that
they received the monies?
And even the man I spoke to told me that whenever there is an election, the nominee has to give them TNT.
That issue has come up quite a number of times.
How much is the TNT?
How much is it? And again, those that I spoke to, some of them would say to you, for example, that maybe they left home early, they might not have taken breakfast. Or have not eaten. So you give them something for refreshment.
But the assembly provides
5,000.
The assembly provides everything. That is why the welfare committee chair went to the accounts office to seek for their TNT and also refreshment.
No, but again, if you, the nominee, you want to also show a bit of love and you want to do this, the point is, if it's about TNT and it's about refreshment, the amount itself will tell. You don't, if what we're hearing is true, you don't give 5,000. You don't give 5,000 and come and tell us that it's for TNT and for refreshment. I mean, what kind of TNT and refreshment are we talking about here? So let's go on to the phone lines and speak to the very first caller. The number to call us on is 03220-83596. Nana, hold on for me. I still have a few things I would like us to run through. We have, first of all, let's speak to Christoph, who's on the line. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, David Akuetteh. How are you, sir?
I am well, Chris.
Dave, one of my bosses is listening. Nana Semenshia, Group CEO, Semenshia, Group of Companies, Papa, and Michelle Anopin. David, this is a worrying trend, and it's something that you have to talk about. Now, the two parties involved, that is the MCE and Assembly members. David, if indeed I've given you money, why would you vote for me? And on what condition was the money given? Is it for only the first voting or the subsequent voting? So this is something that we have to interrogate. And then two, if these things goes on like this, it means that now the assembly members are not looking for the general good of the district, but rather their own parochial interest, their selfish desires. Because if you take this money from this DC that you are going to confirm, he ought to retrieve this money when he comes into office. So it means that commonsensically, money that will come for the development of the district might find its way somewhere, because he paid before he was endorsed, and he needs to recoup that amount. And that's very serious. And to the DCE too, look, if the assembly member says they will not vote for you, the president should come out with a different person, and so that they can know who can help the communities. But I believe that they are doing this at the expense of the development of the assembly. GRA should go after these assembly members and collect capital because they are making money.
Christoph, thanks for joining us on Love in the Morning on Love 99.5. 03220-83596. Sledge, good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning, David. How are you?
I'm well. Sledge, what do you make of the happenings, Juaben?
David, this is a test case for the special prosecutor. David, by this time, that the nominee and all the assembly members should have been in police custody. There's a confirmation of bribery and corruption. 5,000 cities for TNT. David, and to the CPP regional chairman, he has no moral right. He should never talk about corruption in this country again. Because as a regional chairman of a political party, an assembly member, you are taking bribe.
Well, we can't prove that. We can't prove that yet. He has not confirmed that he's taking.
He's part of the assembly members.
Yes, but the point is, most of the assembly members are denying that they have not been given anything. Most of them have. Others have agreed that yes, they took some money for the first voting and all that.
Okay, I will do that. But David, I also stand on what I said the last time. It is time we amend the constitution, take up this approval from assembly members. It's a way of corruption. That is why the DCEs come in. The money that should be used for the district development, they also be using it for their personal gains because they paid their way through. David, assembly members, they are more corrupt than anybody in this world. Thank you.
All right, so let's go to Juaben now, and we have a call on the line. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Dave, my name is Nana Bibi Babwat, and I'm from Juaben. I'm also one of the sub-chiefs.
Okay, Nana, welcome. Let's hear you, sir.
You see, I don't like the way you are treating this matter. It seems that everything goes against the nominee. I can tell you from the fact, we cannot sit down and allow these 26 people, assembly members, to take the whole municipality into ransom because of their own pettiness. They are doing the bid for somebody. That is why they are behaving this way. What at all do they want from the nominee? Somebody who has become a chairman for 2 times. Somebody who has led a party into power 2 times. What at all has he done? That these 26 or 13 people will come out and say that he is not trustworthy. Somebody who is the chairman of the party at the moment.
But Nana, for the endorsement of this MC, it has to come from the assembly members. We know that Nananum tried to speak to the assembly members, who themselves did not budge. Does that come to you as a surprise?
So do you want to blame the nominee for that? Do we have to blame the nominee? We have to blame the assembly members. Look, Nananum has tried their best to talk to them, including the assembly himself. Has called them twice or thrice, advise them, talk to them. And yet, because of their pettiness,
But one would argue and say that they are doing their job. But Nana, again, let me throw in this question: what do you make of the alleged Nana? What do you make of the alleged bribery? Nana, what do you make of the alleged bribery allegations that has come up? Because the nominee is demanding his monies back.
What is the alleged bribery?
We have a video where the nominee himself, we have a video in which the nominee himself is asking for a refund of money he's given to assembly members.
If somebody is asking for a refund of his money, that means that it is a bribe. Did you hear him say that?
What was the money given for then? Nana, what do you think the money was given for then?
Then you have to call him and ask him. You can't just say somewhere and say you hear him asking demanding money from them, so that money was a bribe. You can't just say that.
Nana, I hear you. And thank you very much, Nana, for joining us. But the point is this: if you did not get the nod and you go back to the assembly members asking for your refund of your money, what else is this? You gave them money to influence their voting for you. That's exactly what it is. So if for whatever reason you didn't get the nod, then you'd go back and ask for a refund of your money. That's exactly what he's doing. Michael is on the line as well. Michael, good morning. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, good morning, David. Hello, good morning, David.
Hi, Michael. Good morning, sir.
Yes, mine is about the military. You know, this issue of military men interfering in matters of our democracy is becoming a problem. Especially when authorities who should know better make claims they never ordered them. In fact, it beats my imagination. And so I begin to ask myself, what is the role of our regional ministers when it comes to issues of security in our region? And then what is the role of the CDS, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Army Commander, the Minister of Defense, and even the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces? David, I hope you remember what happened on the eve of the swearing-in of the president, and when the Speaker of Parliament was being voted for, when the military just barged into Parliament. And, you know, everybody was saying, I didn't order them. In fact, this is becoming very serious. The military is an institution very, very, very respected. And for me, I think the boys must be spoken to. Whoever is ordering these things must put a stop to it. Good morning. Good morning,
and thanks for calling. That's Michael there. And when you heard Nana Yajima, my colleague, tell us when I asked that question as to the response from the regional minister as to how the military got there. He said that the military were on their way to training. As to how they ended up at the assembly, nobody knows. And he says, well, he's going to look into it. So let's see what he finds and how what he will share with us when the findings are made available. Kofi Bedu is also on the line. Kofi, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Dave. How are you doing?
I'm well, Kofi.
Good. Dave, why are we trying to impose a candidate on the assembly? In fact, the assembly members have done a wonderful job, and they have my support. You know some of them, and they have shown that they can be strict at the assembly. Remember, this is the new assembly, unlike the previous, because previously it was under Glassy, and now they are going to be independent. So they have done a job that is expected of them. But tell you what, I don't know. Let me say it again. I don't know why we are trying to impose a candidate on the assembly. All that the assembly men presidency upon the intervention of the chief and also the MP. All that, they say no. We want the president to bring in another candidate frustratingly. I like the Avim. Thank you very much.
Well, Kofi Bedu says he likes the Avim. You can also join us and let's hear what your thoughts are on the conversation. 03220-83596. Nanaya, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's hear you, sir.
Dave, I'm ashamed about the man who called that he's one of the sub-chiefs in Juaben. I'm very much ashamed of that man. They are condoning evil. There's a clear evidence that there's been bribery offer. Whether the acceptance has not been cleared over there, but the offer, it is so clear here. So what is his issue? You are saying that only 26 people want to decide for the whole municipal, but are the 26 assemblymen not representing the people over there? What is he trying to say? Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, sir, for calling us. And that was Nanaya. Do we have Emmanuel also on the line? Hi, good morning.
Good morning, David. How are you?
I am well, Nana. Emmanuel, let's hear you, sir.
Yes, Emmanuel Christian Service in Kumasi. I'm just, let me just put like as usual. These things happen and it's like we talk about it and nothing happens and another one be happening. People do things and they just go away with it. These pictures and videos are also going viral and it's giving a very bad signal about our own country. So what can we do? I think we should always start from the top. Our leaders are also doing things and getting away with it. This is just a small cog in the whole machine. If we can check it from the top, it will calm down all of it. But it looks like people are doing things and going at it. Everybody thinks they can do things and go away with it. Thank you so much.
Thank you too, Emmanuel, for doing the listening and for joining us. Well, next on the line, we have Ajekum Adams. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dave.
Bingy man, how are you?
Yes, I am. This morning I'm speaking from the United States of Juaben.
Let's hear you, Ajekum Adams.
Dave, I would like to ask this fundamental question. Is there a way or a provision that when assembly members misbehave, you can impeach or remove them from office?
Yes, it is possible. Yes, it's there.
By who? The citizens or who?
Well, per the rules of engagement, yes.
And how is it done? Can the citizens, how would they do it?
Well, I need to cross-check that in detail and share that with you. If you don't mind, I'll do that cross-checking for you.
Cross-check and give us such information so that these assembly members should be removed by the people over there. Okay?
That is if it's proven that indeed they received something.
Aha. How about you?
I hear you, Ajekum Adams there. Nana Akuetteh is also on the line with us. Nana, good morning and welcome.
Hello?
Hi, Nana.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right, so let's hear you.
Well, you know what? I'm going to ask a series of questions. How many district assemblies in the MMDC does the president has the opportunity to appoint in every year, more or less, every 4 years? Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm asking the question.
All right, so I'm trying to get that one for you as you speak, so go ahead.
It's around 300 and something.
Yeah.
Or 200 and something.
It's 200 and something, but I'm trying to get the exact figure.
Very good. You see, we allow the tricksters, the politicians, to trick us. What is happening at Juaben is so disgusting, disrespectful to the conscience of Ghanaians, and in fact, bad. But who caused them? It's we, the Ghanaians. We allow the tricksters to trick us. Any administration, be it NDC or MPP, that gets opportunity to be in parliament, has some way of giving job for the boys and the women. So, when we advocated that, look, there should be elections to curtail this this symbolic thing that disgraceful that's going there. No, we the citizens, you and I, follow the tricksters to trick us that, look, there shouldn't be any election because it was going to curtail the hands of the president. Let me give you an example. Before the last elections, there was an MP that lost elections and was advocating that people shouldn't go for independence because the president has the opportunity to appoint new MMDCs and everything. And if that person got appointment, as we speak right now. So you see, this thing was only stop only when we get MMDCs elected. But who caused them? It is weak, and the traitors will never allow that to happen because it will tie their hands. They They wouldn't have the opportunity to get people because, for you know, that guy there might have done some machination and all those kind of things to get MPP to get votes. So the president instead, hey, look, if you don't get me there, look, I won't do all these things that so that you get massive votes in this area. This is the things that they use to blackmail the appointed authority. So until we stop this thing will never stop. Let's get the politicians out. No more appointments. Elections. Kwabre. This is Kwabre is. You should get him elected. So if he doesn't fix the Mampontin to Tafu Road, Abbas Johnson and then Korea Johnson, if that road doesn't get fixed, I know that in 4 years I will vote him out. But you can't get any crock on the John there. What do you have?
Well, I'm happy about the fact that the president says that his eye is still on electing MMDCEs. So let's see how it pans out. We have about 260 of them. Our final caller is on the line. David, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, David. How are you? I hope you are fine.
Yes, I am well, David. Good to have you.
I want to touch on 1 or 2 or 3 issues. First one, about the presence of the military. Quite recently, the president gave the military some vehicles. And they were going to their various stations and they were on patrol. So when they were coming through, they even stopped at the Jesu Assembly, went to the assembly to visit them. They came to Juaben. They went to Fijase. They went to Toboso before they came back. So on the issue of the military, you try and find out very well. 2, on the issue of trust that the assembly members were talking about the issue about the madman, that they went to take 1,000 cities from the chairman who was supposed to be confirmed or not. That thing happened let's say, earlier before the elections.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. We lost you briefly.
Somebody is sick in your community.
Yeah.
You went to seek help on behalf of the family, and you take the money. You don't go to the family. You don't tell them anything. And I hear yesterday, the guy has even raised cutlasses in the town. You are talking about trust, about somebody who is supposed to be a leader, and you yourself exhibiting that sort of behavior, and you're talking about trust. And the issue is, I'm very grateful about the traditional council's statement that they put out. And I'm very grateful Gado too was on air. When you go to the palace, nobody forces you, but when you feel you have gone down on something, you have to do the needful thing. So please, about the issue in Juaben, I think this on air. And I wish your reporter who was there yesterday could go depth into it. It's not about the man, some Kataka who has misbehaved or is not trusted, but it's about political lines in the same party. So please, tell them to go down and find out how well the lines in the party are working, and they will get the truth out of it. It is not that South Kantanka has misbehaved, it's not trusted, or whatever it is. In this world of ours, each and everyone can make a mistake. But when it gets to a certain point, and people decide to take and hook up the issue and play the game as they want it because they have the powers in the party, so shall it be. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, David. And here's our final caller. We now have messages for you from Facebook. Leo joins me again.
Okay, this is from Yabrobe Ban, a.k.a. Major from Kumasi. He says the police were simply unfair for arresting a Juaben MCE nominee and not doing the same to the assembly members. The reason is that in the offense of bribery, the giver and the receiver are both guilty. And this is from Morgan. He says, Ghana, the president promised us to protect the public purse and prosecute corruption, but what do we see now? Corruption seems to be legalized and it's even recruiting new members. Shame on us. And this is from Posi G. She says, hey Ghana, keep up the good work, from Obuasi. Okay, thank you. And this is from Nanama Kwa. He says, so can this person lead the country? And from Vincent Osejumo, he says, hey Ghana, greetings to the incoming Ashanti Regional. Okay, thank you. And this is from True Citizen. He says, okay, he's referencing Yahoo Tamaklu's comment about Akufo-Addo, that he's the the most whatever. All right, I think that's just about it.
Okay, so thanks, Leo Stanley Boaite, and of course to all of you who called us and sent us messages and watched us live on Facebook. We're grateful to all of you. It's now 15 minutes past 8. In a bit, we shall be crossing over to Joy 99.7 for more on the Super Morning Show. Please stay with us.
Hip, hip, hip. Thank you. For my 62nd birthday, my wife and I will be traveling for our second honeymoon to Dubai.